everybody. What is happening? It's a little morning show post-Labor Day weekend. Not too bad of a weekend for myself. The last episode was we ran into a lady in the grocery store who told us all about these vaccines and why the rise in cancer rate here is so high. Now, many of you maybe heard it. Just to quick reiterate, this was the only person that I've ever heard claim to have seen these things under a microscope. Since this whole COVID thing started, I was out of pathology by then, so, and I moved out of the area, so it wasn't like, hey, can I drop by? Let's take a look at this shit under the microscope, boys. What's really going on here? Is this shit really glowing? Are there like strings of nanobots and shit like that? So that was kind of where we left off. And I was telling everybody, shit, man, the synchronicity on that was like fucking 1 day, 2 day turnaround. 2 days since I asked that question, bang, there's an answer. That shit, whew, man, I'm telling you, for 15 years minimum, that has this type of stuff has been popping off to me for like, I'm looking around society, like, y'all fucking having this experience, because holy shit, it's like I ask something and poof, 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 it's there. Like, whoa. So I'll just continue on from that shit a little bit. Now get this, I have a car up for sale, and yeah, I needed to get rid of it, like, just, I needed to. All these other reasons, like, that was the next big thing in my life that needed to get done. So, like, a day or two after I ran into the gal at the gas station, I get this call, and it's like, hey, this lady the next morning, like Saturday morning, I get this call, said, hey, this lady's got bunch of cash, she wants to buy a car this weekend, and she wants to test drive yours. So it's like, oh shit, okay, good morning. I'll go do all that shit, get the tires pumped up and drive it a minute, so like the brakes aren't rough and like it hasn't been driven in a month. You know how the brakes can get. So it did that. A little bit later I get a call. And so, long story short here, the gal who bought it, okay, it was, there were 3 people there, mother, daughter, son, but the son, the daughter's son were married, so one of them must have been like, obviously. But the gal who's going to be driving the car, mostly, right, my old vehicle now, has the same exact name as the gal from the gas station. So the minute I found that out, I was like, oh, you're buying this car. I just knew it subconsciously. I didn't say it right then, but I was just like, I just know these are the people that are gonna buy the car. She's the one. Like, you got the same name as the chick I just ran into. Like, hi universe, yeah. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. This is why I ask these questions. This is why I have started to relay. Oh, come on, lady. You're really not going to move over? Okay, you are going to move over, but you're not. What are you going to do? Like, your delayed reactions here are making you look like a fucking moron. Jeez. Why are you even in that lane? Okay. So, yeah, I knew they were going to buy the car right away, just based off the name that the girl told me. And yeah, they ended up buying it, so that was a good deal for me, good deal for them, fair deal all around. No price gouging. Wasn't too low of a price, wasn't too high of a price. It was a fair deal. So good stuff all around there. But then, get this, when I go to the bank, the lady I'm talking to that's helping me pay off the loan, her name is the same name as the mother. So I've dealt with 4 people and 2 names. Like, I can't wait to see what the last one's gonna be. Like, there's gonna be one more person because I have to take in the lien release form to the DMV at some point. So that'll be like a week or 2 away. Just, what a little trip of, like, it's just so hilarious when people try to, like, cock off and start telling me, oh, karma doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, you have not lived a fucking day in life if you haven't experienced karma. Like, it's fucking insane, these people, how they can't get it. It has to be a case of, like, they can't figure it out, like they're literally not smart enough, or it's this case of soullessness / possession type thing, where the person really isn't even, it's not even a real person type of thing. So yeah, some interesting stuff. Good weekend all around though. Everything's moving forward. I don't think we're going to be doing a Buff Brain Sportscast season debut for the NFL season launch, whatever you want to call it, the debut. Kev is still working on a project in the East, so we will let him do his thing. For all that don't know, Kev's former NSA, so when he says he's up to a project in the East, it's kind of like, man, former NSA, huh? Are you sure that isn't like post active status? So shit. So he's a little bit of a international man of mystery. And East could mean that he's in fucking Virginia. You know? Could mean he's in Florida. Could mean he's in Japan. Anywhere fucking east of here until you get back to here. Let's just say that. That's where Kev could be. Yeah, I've been, I won't record too much longer here. I don't have really a whole lot else to say. But if you all just want to kick it with me for a moment. These morning shows are different than the content we've been putting out. Kev and I have put out, like, every episode we put out is like 3 hours plus long. Like, an hour and a half minimum. Like, you're not getting someone like Kevin and I together in a room and recording a fucking 5-minute, 10-minute fucking segment. That ain't happening. We've got way too much to say. The conversation just fucking flows, dude. So it's like, why? Like, that's why we even started recording anyway, because we're like, man, we get so far in these conversations, other people need to be a part of it. So we started recording, man, and fuck, the first lesson at Big Brain University is 7 hours long. Fucking packed with a wealth of information. Like, everything's a fucking gold mine. However, they are extremely long compared to what most people are going to be like, I'm looking for something to just, listen to for a moment. They're like, an hour and a half? Fuck. I don't have an hour and a half of my day of time to listen to shit. So a lot of people have been missing out on our content just based on the length, the sheer length. Now, the plan is, these morning shows have been quite a bit smaller, so we're getting a lot more interaction with them. So it's telling me that the content of the past wasn't bad or wasn't anything like that, which we knew. We knew exactly why it's getting engaged with the way that it is. Our goal has always been, we're not going to focus on followers and subscriber count while we're creating the content. Like, our first initial bulk of it, right? And just the first initial bulk has happened the last 2-3 years, where we just pumped out seasons full of fucking content. So we haven't even got to the point where we've gone back to clip anything yet. And it's like, man, the hours, 7 hour fucking recording, how many smaller clips can I get out of that and add to? You know, it's like we have like the largest treasure trove of fucking content available on the internet for truthers, people seeking, that I've ever seen. And everything we've done is completely raw, uncut, unedited. That just perfect essence maintained. Now people are getting fucking AI editing. You know, they clip everything up. They go back and record it for face value, you know, for like, oh, to get their delivery right. We don't have to do any of that shit. And the content is top tier. So, I guess I'm just kind of reflecting a little bit, kind of detailing my thoughts a little bit on, you know, these last morning show videos, the short ones, they get some attention. And shit, I think one of them had more views on Facebook than it did BitChute, which that really doesn't happen because nobody knows about us on YouTube. Like, if you don't get into the algorithm, you don't get found. Plus, so yeah, what I was saying with the AI stuff, I don't think we're ever gonna do stuff like that. I don't need AI to go in and summarize what we're doing, like create a little chapter list. We used to have a little slave doing that for us, but honestly, the amount of comments that the retard would leave, I think would just discourage others from participating. Because they're like, this guy's just fucking talk, like, you won't ever fucking get a word in, and the fucker never listens. And if anybody would ever, like, say something that this fucking retard didn't like, he'd just, like, start threatening them and shit, like, calling them names, like, dude, you obviously don't understand the kind of atmosphere that we're trying to build as a community here, so you just need to see yourself the way the fuck out. Which he did. The trash took itself out, which was also real funny, because all this, like, stuff with the channel started popping off, and like stuff with life started aligning too. It's kind of interesting how when trash takes itself out, you know, the water can flow again. There's not a fucking dam in the way. So that's been super helpful. It's also kind of interesting timing too, because it's like when I meet a new person in life who's like, okay, this person is, well, what I would say, you know, smart and spiritually tuned. Maybe not aligned quite right. But certainly paying attention and receiving, you know, has soul. Because it's like when I interact with them, synchronicity pops off. So that's how I usually know if somebody has soul, like, because the synchronicity will pop off. It will, a lot of things will occur for me that, I don't know, other people just don't have as an experience because their mentalities aren't set correctly, which I was talking to my sister yesterday, you know, and she's telling me what she's frustrated about. She's kind of venting, just speaking her mind, and, you know, she says some things like how she has a hard time getting over things, letting things go. And, you know, that to me, I'm like, it's just basic unattachment, you know, like, and so I started talking a little bit about that to her, and I'm like, listen, that society as a whole, these people, they don't understand emotional intelligence. They don't understand what unattachment is. And it's for, you know, we didn't get too down in the details, but just kind of mentioning to her, like, look, this unattachment, like, even being mad in the moment, you got every right to be mad, right? You're filled with the righteous anger, because you're like, no, I have every fucking right to be mad right now and treat this person like they need to be treated. But when you understand like how to program your brain, and that you can really just unattach from your feelings and emotions in every single moment, no matter how like full of anger you are or how right you might be. You can just unattach and go back to your baseline. You know, unattach from the situation. Just fucking unattach. I don't know how else to describe it, but you just unattach. You just fucking do it. Like, sure, it doesn't feel that great and you have to process those emotions, but you can do it. And it's really just a choice to fucking do it. There's a lot of there's a lot of little things that I've learned over the years to help myself do this, and be self-aware. And it's really like you always want to attach to the emotions you're feeling, especially when you're speaking with passion. So I used my buddy Chappy Chappa as an example, because he's a master black belt. So the guys had self-discipline training, right? Mental discipline, where you're like, fuck, I don't want to go do this today, but I have to. I got to get up. I got to train my body. Like, it teaches mental discipline. And from what I've experienced, the people that have mental discipline are the ones who are able to understand emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. They're able to understand that, like, look, this belief mentality that everybody's been taught is wrong. And it's leading them into delusion. It's delusionary fucking mentality. That's all it is. And it's there for a fucking reason. And that's why the Bible's written the way that it is. It's like all of these little things are synergizing with each other. It's never just one thing. That's how they get you off of these topics. Because it's like, well, yeah, that's fucking true, but like, how you can't really say it's just that one thing that's brainwashing everybody. Right? No, it's not. It's a bunch of synergizing. And when you learn to see the world for what it really is, instead of like attaching your fucking beliefs onto what you think the world is and what you've been taught, like, that is a mentality that takes practice to understand. Removing yourself, removing your ego. Most people can't fucking do it. They don't have a goddamn clue. So how far are we really gonna get in intelligent conversation, in spiritual conversation, with people who cannot unattach, who cannot understand that their mentality itself is wrong? That the way they process thoughts is wrong. I feel like fucking most people think that their thoughts are private. It's like they're not at all. Your thoughts and feelings are not fucking private. You can try to hide them, but they're not fucking private at all. Your subconscious knows. It knows. It knows all of the fucking feelings, every goddamn metabolic process in your fucking body that's occurring. Your subconscious and everybody else's subconscious is aware of it. It's all aware of itself happening at once, okay? That's what we are a part of. And all this belief mentality is fucking everybody up, because your thought train is not allowing things to just be the way they are. You guys think that if you have a depressive thought that you're fucking depressed, instead of, well, maybe just the energy in the collective right now is feeling some depression because of some terrible shit happening. The reality, right? You turn on the television, getting fucking lied to. Oh, how's that gonna make you feel? That's fucking depressing. Like, just even knowing that people are being brainwashed and shit, that's depressing. It's very fucking depressing to see all the people suffering from the Bible, from belief, and like they're never gonna get out of it. You can see they'll never get out of it. They'll fucking die retarded. And it's like, shit, man, they're not living at all. You can see that they're trapped in a spell box. Like, they're trapped by a witch and they can't get out. Even though you're like, dude, You're trapped by a witch. You're like literally practicing witchcraft right now. Like, what do you not understand? It's like they can't see themselves that way. They're trapped. They're not smart enough. They don't have enough soul. So yeah, those things can be a little bit saddening to see. But again, what do? Are you going to wallow in that depression? Or are you going to process that thought for what it truly is? And what it truly is not me being sad and fucking chemically imbalanced and all this fucking stupid shit that they're going to try to tell you that you are. This scam of a medical system and all, like, look, we don't even need to go down the mental, all the rise in the mental conditions like ADHD and I got ADD and I got this and I got that and I got anxiety and I'm this and I'm that. No, you're fucking not. None of you are any of those fucking things. You just don't understand what you truly are. Because if you did, you'd just unattach from all those things and reprogram your fucking brain to be how you want to be. It has nothing to do with fucking chemical shit and like dictating the situation so much. Like, yes, those things can influence you and keep you feeling shitty and, you know, give you a disadvantage in reprogramming your brain. Absolutely, yes. But if you're going to try to tell me that some people just have absolutely no ability, you might be slightly right, but that's going to be a pretty small percentage. And then what are you really saying there? Like consciousness, like they're just an open vessel. Like, I mean, because if you're saying that, you're saying a whole lot of fucking things. So be careful with that one. I mean, some of you think that, like, you turn on the television that you're just getting possessed by a demon. Some of you believe that you do yoga, you're possessed by demons. Like, okay, you fuckers are so retarded. Like, you are the fuckers using the Bible like you're a goddamn witch. Like, trying to cast spells at people. Telling them that, yeah, this witchcraft book says you're going to hell. And it's like this just an ego fucking superiority move that they're trying to make. See, what my sister was also saying, like, you know, growing up, a lot of people have to deal with bullying. And in small towns, like, females can just be little pricks. And when you're not given the tools to, like, hey, stand up for yourself, or, you know, people don't really get it. And they're just like, if you can't let their nastiness be their nastiness and unattach from it and just, hey, whatever, man. If you're just going to be a fucking nasty piece of shit, then that's what you are. You know, let it be. You know, I understand where there's, like, physical threats where it's like you have to deal with some sort of bully or something like that. Some physical thing. That's not quite the same level of unattachment, but it still is. You still do need to practice that unattachment. But, like, yeah, if there's a physical threat involved, it's like there's another element there. So just don't construe the two and twist my words into what I'm not saying. Because that would be a hell-worthy sin for you to mistake what I'm saying. You will all burn in the fire. You see how fucking stupid you all sound? You're gonna burn in a lake of fire. Like, what the fuck? You pathetic ass piece of shit. That's all that shit fucking says, is that person is fucking pathetic. It also fits a pattern where most of those people, if they ever, like, try to present information, because a lot of them think they're so fucking smart, the information that they present isn't ever theirs. It's never theirs. They're always taking somebody else, playing that recording, and then they'll insert themselves talking about it, but it'll just be them telling everybody how stupid they are for, like, and it's like, dude, you're not even using your words. You're literally using the work of somebody else and trying to pass it off like you're so fucking smart. Like, that shit's fucking hilarious to me. as somebody who's came up with years worth, like, I don't even know how many fucking hours worth of content we have, but it's a lot. Not having to go back and edit, do anything like that. We've never used anybody else's content or anything. We have always put it in our absolute own fucking words as originally as possible. That's a fucking guarantee. Guarantee, baby. You will not find content like this anywhere else. I guarantee you. And if you do, you tell me who it is, because we need to connect, baby. Like we ain't already connected. We'd be saying the same shit. There's so many times lately where it's like, man, I am listening to myself fucking talk to me. Yesterday, again, with my sister, it was like, oh my God. It's like me 15 years ago. My sister's probably a bit smarter than me in some areas, though. So, she'll figure it out. Plus, she's got me to put some good shit in her head. All right, that was a lot longer morning show, just kind of BSing than I thought it was going to be, but, whatever. I don't do short shit.